Can you tell them what the adoption process is as far as what it
Yeah.
takes to adopt?
We encourage them to come in and meet them, and not like a spur of the moment thing. We want them to get to know the cat. So some people will come in 2 times and really get to know the kitties before they come in. When you first walk in, we have you fill out a little sheet and sign a book so we know who's in here. The sheet mostly is telling us what you already have going on at home, how many cats you have, how many kids you have, things like that. And then hopefully they take at least an hour to meet all the kitties. You know, some have specific requirements, and we do have a list. Every Saturday we print a new list that tells us every cat here, how old they are, what color they are, whether or not they can be with a kid, whether or not they can be with a dog, whether or not they can be with another cat. And that way we can kind of direct them. I mean, if somebody has a huge dog, then we're like, here's your selection, you know, and it's listed on there. Some people prefer to have a declawed cat and are very gracious about adopting an older one that has already been declawed. And so that limits their search a little bit. And then there's a 2-page application that you get to fill out. If you're a renter, we must speak to your landlord. Nobody leaves here until the landlord has been consulted. A lot of people are shocked to find out how much their pet deposit is. And so that needs to all be done ahead of time so that we don't want a cat in an unwanted place. And then if everything's good to go, we usually sit down with them for anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes and explain to them what their life is like here and kind of what we expect their life to be like once they leave, especially like the canned food thing that I talked about earlier. Canned food is all water and protein. If you have a chubby cat and you want to put him on a diet, you take away his dry food. That's his carbs.
I thought the wet
You feed him wet food only. Yeah. We tell you to steer away from fish. Don't give them too much fish. A high concentrated fish diet can cause crystals in the urine later in life. And that, if it's painful urination, then they go outside the box because they associate their litter box with pain. Yes?
What do you do if you have a skinny cat and a fat cat, and the fat cat needs to go on a diet?
Well, that's like poor little Chester and Safi. She is in the room with him because that's her brother, but she's on a special diet now. She doesn't have to be, but it's a premium science diet prescription food that she's on. So usually if that's the case, then everybody in your house is on the prescription food. Otherwise you'd have to feed them in separate rooms,
Okay.
which could be done too, but cats like to graze, so they like it out all the time.